you're in such a bad relationship that like all you focus on is your relationship. But some of you are making the sacrifices for someone that is actually not worth it.
This is what it costs to be in a relationship with this person. Am I willing to pay the price?
Yeah.
Hey Deku Fam.
Welcome back to our channel.
Welcome back.
We're back with another video.
One day, Anna's gonna punch me in the face and we're gonna have a problem with this camera. This arm is too quick.
No, but his reflex is really good. Like,
I know what you're about to do.
Oh yeah, it's like, ooh. Anyway, Deku Fam. Well, firstly, we want to say thank you so much for 50k.
Wow.
50,000 subscribers like us.
50.
Mad.
Wait, we might not actually be at 50k. We're prophesying in this moment. Right now, we're at 49,920.
Yeah.
And we're prophesying by the time this video comes out that we are 50. So
if
thank
we're not,
you.
that's awkward.
Yeah, we'll see it again next video.
But thank you so much, Deku Fam. Who knew when we started this channel that it was going to grow to such a community where we'd call you our family and we'd like be sharing relationship stuff and all of this. Like, who knows what the future holds?
Who knows? But thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's not over. We don't have no plaque until we hit 100. Yeah. So thank you, fam. We want to see you share with your friends, your auntie, your uncle, and your ex-boyfriend, just to encourage them around relationships. So let's get us to 100.
I can't imagine
I want to
100,
see. I want to see a trophy. I want to see the plaque.
But anyway, we're starting a new series today. Like, that is amazing because we haven't done a series in how long?
This is the first series this year. We've really been slacking. Coronavirus has come. We've been slacking. But we're doing a new series on the area on relationships, obviously, and our careers.
Yes! We put it out there to the Deku Fam on Instagram and said, look, what do you want us to be talking about? Careers came up so much. Careers and relationships and all of that. And most of you probably don't know that we have careers. YouTube is not our life.
Look, 50k will not bring no income to anyone's house. Listen, literally, we're working full time.
Yeah, Gabes works in banking within compliance, and I work in software sales. So yeah, we're doing our thing out there. And people always ask us the question, like, how are you both striving so hard in your careers, yet have a thriving marriage? Like, how do you navigate all of that? So
so now we're gonna take you on a journey, and we're gonna start with this video talking about the dating phase. So what happens when boy meets girl, they're interacting, and then you need to consider how your career is going to be affected by who you actually enter into a relationship with.
Yeah, because
you don't want to enter into a relationship and be derailed.
Yeah, trust me, some people, like, you're striving, you're doing your thing career-wise, you get into a relationship,
next thing you know, unemployment.
Or it could go the other way where it's like you're both really striving and it's like there's so much conflict and so many issues. So we're going to take you through that whole journey. We're starting with phase 1, boy meets girl. Like, you're trying to qualify and work out whether this is my boo thing. And careers should come into that. Okay, let's get into the video. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do before getting into a relationship is actually asking yourself the question, what do I want to do with my life?
And we always say that it starts with yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be having all this expectation about the other person, but like, what do you want to do with your life? And we realize that there are 2 types of people in this world. There's the first type of person who just kind of goes with the flow. They don't know who they are, what they're doing, or where they're going. They're just kind of going and flowing. And that's okay. You don't always have to know what you want to do, but just know that if you don't have a plan, anything will come and just pull you. Any wave will come and pull you any direction. And now the second type of person, they've taken time to get to know themselves. They know what they can contribute into society. They know what job that they're going for. And then as they're going from season or situation to situation, they're critiquing the people against what they want and what they plan.
Yeah, and I feel like for us when we're at university, we met at university, we're both like in our final year of university, and you just could tell that you were a different kind of person. Like, my guy was so on it. Like, I don't know, he was applying for all the grad schemes already. He was, you know, on LinkedIn already. He was like networking, started all the societies. And like, when I met him, I was like, this man is a man with a plan. Like, I really liked it because all the other guys that I've come across before, like, they wanted to be entrepreneurs. And I knew in my heart that I do not want a man who wants to be an entrepreneur. I don't know why. I just knew that, like, I want a corporate guy. I want a guy who's like maybe in finance or banking or something. And I was just like, yeah, this is the kind of guy. And I just felt like because we both had a plan and we both knew the direction that we were heading in, it made us like qualify each other quicker. Like, it was easier to know that this is the person that's meant to be.
Because when you sit down and you have have a conversation, like when we had a conversation on where we saw ourselves in the next couple of years and what our dream and our desires were, we were able to say, okay, these are the things I want to do, these are the things that you want to do. And the question that we were asking ourselves was, well, the question I was asking myself was, could I see Anna in my story?
Yeah.
And the thing is, could I see myself in her story? And if we could both answer yes, it's like, oh, we could actually move in the right direction, rather than just going with the flow. Because at the end of the day, your career could really be hindered by the relationship that you go into. So it's important to have a plan, know what you want, and see if your stories can align. This doesn't mean that you have to pursue the same job or anything like that, but just seeing, like, can you see yourself in each other's stories? Like, there's some logistical things that you have to think about, like what lifestyle do you want to have, what location. There's various other factors that you have to consider in this whole decision making process, and you can only identify that if you have a plan. And
I don't think my plan was as extreme or as structured as Gabe's was, but the fact that I was loose and knew that, okay, I can adjust myself to fit into his plan, that's also part of the discussion process. But if I was someone who had a strict plan that I want to be a missionary in a specific country, and he's saying he wants to do banking in London, then it's like, okay, so there's really no point us taking this conversation any further, because our paths do not look like they'll align.
We had the benefit of the fact that we met very early. We were hashing out our plans together because it was so early. We were quite young, so we got the opportunity to be able to have that conversation. Oh, what do you want to do? And we were kind of building our future together.
And you can understand how, as you get older and your career is more established, let's say we met now, and we were both in very
different conversations.
Another thing that we have to think about before entering a relationship or in those early stages is, like, do I actually have the capacity for a relationship? Given my career, given my circumstance, given everything going on, like, do I have the capacity?
And you have to be really honest with yourself, because there's certain people out there who are doing like a 9-to-5 job, and they're doing a professional qualification, and then or you can have the person who's an entrepreneur and has just got no time. Like, time is sometimes scarce for a lot of people. Relationship takes work, your careers takes work, and sometimes you have to be in a position where you have to choose.
And some people are not honest with themselves, because we actually think that we can have everything. We can have our cake and eat everything at exactly the same time, but that's not the case. Like, some seasons it might just be, actually, I can't be in a relationship right now because I'm launching this business, I'm doing this, and that's it. It's grinding season. It's going to take all of my time. But a lot of people are like, oh, I can have a relationship and give them my all. I can also have a I can also have a career and give it my all, and do all of these things, and everything's going to be happy. And no, it's not. So I think sometimes you can say no.
Exactly, it's true. And the thing is, because sometimes there's sacrifices. Because for those of you who've been following us for a very long time will know this story. So at the time when we met, I was on track for a first class honours, and I met Annabella. She tried to show me all this excitement, and it was fun. We were having a good time.
It's not everyday library.
So she was distracting me from the library. So what happened? I got a grade. What did I get? I got 69.4%, and they wouldn't round up. They wouldn't round it up to a
Basically,
first.
a 70 is a first, and he got 69.4.
So what did I get? A 2-1 like her.
And a 2-1 is a great grade, but if given the circumstances of how Gabes put in the years, like first year and second year of university, he was going hard. He was always at the library. Third year, I was in his life, and we were not in the library as much.
We knew library.
And then he didn't get the grade.
My grade, pew.
And that's the sacrifice that I think that's an honest depiction of what it's like sometimes when you have a goal.
She was worth the sacrifice. But sometimes you have to be considerate to the fact that you might not have the time to invest in a relationship. I was willing. I didn't know I was going to lose my first. I thought I could do it both, but obviously I didn't.
I was worth it because we're here and we're married. But some of you are making the sacrifices for someone that is actually not worth it. Like, you're actually giving up your career for someone who maybe you're not going to be with in a few years, or for a bit of short-term fun and no long-term gain. So it's like, actually, maybe be upfront and say, look, this season is really about my career.
Set expectation.
This season is about my career, and right now I'm going to give it some time and give all my time to this career.
However, you can meet somebody and be able to set the expectation and say, look, this is what I'm working on. This is what I'm willing to do.
Yeah.
My time is limited.
Yeah.
And if they're willing to embark upon the journey and understand where you're at, that's fine, because they could also have a busy job.
Yeah.
They could be quite busy with their opportunities. And I guess when people are on the same season and they understand the work that it takes to establish something, there might be more grace. But what you don't want to have is someone having an expectation of, I'm going to be here and waiting for you to come. And the other person with expectation of, I'm going to be focusing all my time on my career.
Yeah.
So you have to have the conversation.
Yeah. We're not saying that it can't work. We're just saying have the conversations early and understand what you're getting yourself into if you choose to make that decision.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like, you don't want to, you know, one person's at home making dinner every evening at 5 p.m. for you, and it's like, no, but you're at work until midnight every night, and that's going to cause conflicts in the relationship. And it's okay to say, like, this season is about my career, and if we're going to embark on this journey, like, time is going to be limited. Before you start dating someone, another thing that you have to ask yourself about the person is, do they actually have prospects, or are they just a dreamer? You know, them guys that be throwing the words, oh yeah, you know, I'm gonna own my own Fortune 500 company, I'm gonna be doing this, doing that. Meanwhile, they're sleeping every day and literally not stepping towards those goals. Girls, check for those.
You have to be very careful of the dreamer, the one who dangles this lifestyle in front of you, but not really doing something.
Has an Instagram page, but is not doing any work behind the scenes.
Has makeup and all these bags, but they're all borrowed. It's real.
Yeah, it's real. For real.
Like, we've spoken about long term. Long term helps you see whether you have a future. But you have to actually see that if this person has prospects to be able to achieve something. Because the thing is, we're not just trying to just date someone with this elusive idea of where they're going. It's really important to be able to know what the person's short term goals are. And when you know the person's short term goal, like what they're going to do in the next 6 to 9 months, then you'll be able to see, does this person have the determination and the motivation to be able to achieve it? Because anyone can throw out a big idea. I want to be richer than Bill Gates. But are you putting in the work to be richer than Bill Gates? So we have to be careful of the people who are going to just share a vision, share a dream, and there's no facts to show that they can actually get there.
Yeah, because I remember when Gabes and I met, obviously, it was at university. It's hard to see the fruit, like, hard to see the bank balance, don't joking. But I saw his work ethic. Like, he didn't get accepted for some of the jobs, if you've seen our career videos and stuff like that to begin with. But I knew what this guy was doing behind the scenes. The work that he would put in, the hours that he would spend, the types of people that would be around him, like, who'd be spending time with in the library. I was like, this guy is actually going places. He's not just a guy that's talking about, oh yeah, I want to start a new business idea and do all of this stuff. He actually put in the work. And I was like, yeah, this guy's gonna be, you know, my kind of guy. And now we're walking into the fruit of that. And, you know, obviously...
Well, it's been 10 years since we started dating.
Has it?
Yeah, it's been 10 years.
It's been 10 years.
Well, 8, about 8, 9 years.
Yeah, but the vision that you had back at uni, like, I'm seeing that come into fruition now because of the work that he's put in and the character that he had. So I would say, especially to the ladies, like, don't let them guys be selling you dreams, and meanwhile they're playing PlayStation at home every night. Like, you need to be looking at these things.
Yeah, because you can't have the big dreams without short-term goals. And the question we really got to ask ourselves is, what confidence do I have that the person is going to get to where they say they have? Am I in love with just an idea or a dream? Or do I actually believe that this person can actually get there?
Yeah, I think we have to make a calculated judgment when we're choosing the person that we want to date. Like, obviously, anything can happen in the future, and you're making that commitment to say, I'm going to stay with you regardless, you know, highs and lows, good times, bad times. But when you're looking to make that decision, you're looking at the facts that are before you in that moment. They've said the words about, you know, have this vision for the future, but you also look at what is happening right now. Who is this person? What are the hours they're putting in? If I was to look at their day, does it look like they're going to, you know, get to where they want to get to?
You can't be saying that you're going to work in a banking organization and you've never sent one application in 2 years. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Another thing that we have to think about before dating someone is, have I actually counted the cost of what it means to date this person? Because look, they have that vision, they have the plan, and you know what they want to achieve, but have I counted the cost of what that actually looks like?
Because let's just say that everything that they had, all their visions and all their dreams, is actually, you have facts to see that they're actually going to get there. But everyone's career has like a certain lifestyle that comes with it. And the thing is, have you really deeped what they do?
Oh my God.
Okay, so let's just say like you have a banker. He's also kind of like a financial advisor, and his job is to travel the world and give financial advice. And that means that he's not in the country for 6 days a week.
Can you handle that?
Can you handle the fact that you're not going to be in a position to be talking to this person, seeing this person? He's not going to be in your presence. Is that okay?
Because he actually made that clear before you got into the situation. This is someone who knows what they want. They've got their goals and their visions. They do want a relationship, but the reality of it is their career is taking them around the world, especially to begin with when you start dating.
Definitely.
But then there's nothing worse than having that woman or that man, they're nagging you, but you're not around.
Yeah.
But I set that
But you knew what I was doing before we got in this relationship.
Yeah.
Am I supposed to now drop everything I'm doing because I'm now in a relationship?
Like, they are going to try and make time, but it might be awkward. It might be at midnight. It might be at, you might be on different time zones. There might be, work might have to take a priority and all of this stuff. But can you handle that? Because you should count the cost. Like, part of the qualification is actually understanding, this is the person that's before me and this is the person that I might consider dating. Can I handle what their career will bring to our
let's just say, for example, you have someone who's very passionate about the charity sector and their dreams is to help people. Now, that comes with a certain lifestyle. They may not have as much income.
Yeah.
If they don't have that much income, that might mean they might not be able to contribute to some of the things. Is that okay?
Exactly.
The fact that not bringing income is going to affect now a lifestyle that you might have.
Yeah.
Are you okay to still embark upon the journey?
That's a very good point, because a lot of people would actually derail that person from their vision because, I want to be going on holiday every month.
Yeah.
And, but they set the expectation. You knew what they wanted to do. Another thing is pastors as well. Like, you've chosen to date a pastor and they're bringing people to the house every night.
Yeah.
Like, you've got a spare room and they bring in someone from the church to come and stay with you. And you're saying, no, I don't want that. It's not comfortable. But you know what you signed up for. People need to count the cost before they, get into the relationship.
So you
with the
count
person.
the cost. You need to be able to ask yourself the question, this is what it costs to be in a relationship with this person. Am I willing to pay the price?
Yeah.
If you had that discussion with yourself and you're willing to pay the price, then cool.
Yeah.
On you go.
I think that's a really important question that a lot of people don't ask themselves. And even if they do ask themselves, do they hold themselves to it when the trial comes?
When the trial comes, you've got to remind yourself, this is what I signed up for.
Like, they're not doing it out of malicious intent or anything like that. I'm not going to compare myself to the other relationships where they're both doing 9 to 5s and they're coming home and having dinner together. I know what I signed up for, and I'm going to remind myself, and I'm still going to be encouraging my partner because this is to do with the overall vision for our family. And the last thing that we need to think about,
and it's probably the most important thing.
It actually is. Like, will this person help me get to my goals quicker or slower? Or actually never. Sometimes you may never.
Derailed.
Done with. Because that's what can happen when you're with someone who is toxic and derails you.
And we've already done a video series about toxic relationships and the consequences of that.
Yeah.
Now, when you're in a relationship that is fruitful and then you're actually quite joyful, they can actually help you go further.
Yeah.
There's actually a statistic that married couples, or it's actually like married men, actually earn more on average than the average person.
Is that why you married me?
Yeah, because I wanted to level up. Like, it's part of the plan, you get me? But they earn more on average than people who are not married.
Yeah, and I think about, like, our relationship and how, like,
the amount of prayer that's got involved, the amount of encouragement, the amount of, like, the times when you come home and you feel like you failed at work and you've got that support structure.
Yeah, and then you feel ready to go again the next morning. And it's just like, 2 is meant to be better than 1. So I think our lives should get better as a result of being together. And that's what's happened in our relationship. Like, he's helped me with my direction. He's given me the encouragement that I need. Yeah. And we see, like, our careers are going from strength to strength. Definitely. And we're actually leveling up. So it's just like, that can also go the other way, where you're in such a bad relationship that, like, all you focus on is your relationship. Like, all you're talking about is trying to resolve conflict, all this stuff, and you can't even focus on your careers.
Because Anna's helped me a lot, for example, with my confidence. Like, I've been able to go into work, and now I've started presenting to, like, senior management team, and the confidence is coming through me, and that's literally because of Anna's encouragement, and actually seeing how confident she is and how she bosses it up at work, that I have now received the anointing. I have received the anointing. Now, when I go into work, I am more confident. Now, I can't imagine being in a position where I'm in a relationship with someone who actually takes away my confidence, and then when I go into work, I'm second guessing myself. My head is down. I am not really adding value. I'm losing my career. It's literally slipping from my fingers.
That's a really important thing that you need to assess. Like, when you're in a relationship with someone, is your confidence growing? Are they affirming you, or are they actually insecure about how good you are?
Insecurity is the greatest sabotage in your relationship. So,
no, that's it really? Keep going, babe.
No, because if someone's insecure, then they start almost seeing you as competition, rather than threatened by you.
Yeah.
Rather than seeing that you're on the same team and you get to level up together, they're now coming and almost sabotage it. You might just see the person start being a bit more like aggressive and critical about you, just to start to make themselves feel better. And like we said, your confidence can go down. So just make sure the person you're entering a relationship with is not so insecure that they're now going to sabotage your career. So what we haven't said is that two people should come and now pursue the same thing. We don't necessarily believe in that.
Nope.
But just looking at it from a high level perspective, what are the characteristics that the person has that can add to your relationship or take away from your relationship that affects your goals?
Yeah, because the reality is, Deku Fam, our careers play a huge part of our lives. We spend 9 hours a day in our sense, at least working, thinking about careers, doing all that stuff. So let's not overlook it when it comes to relationships. Yes, you know, you've been called together. Yes, you believe both are Christians, but also what does our career paths look like? Where has God called us to? And how are we going to navigate that?
And are we moving in that direction? Do I feel like I'm actually fulfilling my purpose? Do I feel more whole? Because the thing is, you can be in a loving relationship, but if your career is not prospering or you don't feel like you are achieving something with your life, you can still feel quite empty. Like it's not one thing that fulfills your life. It's like little components, like a good relationship, your career, your family, your friends. Like there's your spiritual life. There's various other factors that play a part in you actually feeling whole. So let's just make sure that the person that you bring alongside you is actually adding to making you more whole rather than taking away from you.
Yes, 100%. So that's it for this video. Part 2 is...
We'll let you know next week.
Yes, we're going to take you on the journey. So that was careers and dating. And then we're moving through. So we'll see you next Monday, 6:30 GMT.
Is it GMT?
Or is it BST? GMT.
Well, we're British summertime at the moment.
No, it's not. We're GMT.
GMT +1 or BST.
Is it?
Yeah.